Hello dear students, I am Chetan Singadia from Dr. Subhash Technical Campus. You are watching the video lecture for the subject of Database Management System. Today we are going to discuss what is query processing, optimization and evaluation of expression in query processing and query optimization. So this is what we are going to discuss in this video lecture. The points to be discussed, that means you are going to you will learn in this video lecture what is query processing. There are 3 points in that we have to understand, that is parsing and translation, what is optimization, what is evaluation. In that we are going to see the query evaluation plan also. The next important topic that you would like to see, that is evaluation of an expression. In that we are going to see what is materialization and what is pipelining. Also we would like to see the pipelining in query processing. Also we would like to differentiate the materialization versus pipeline. And at the last we would like to see the implementing pipeline in demand driven and producer driven. So these are the topics that we are going to discuss, that you will learn in this video lecture. So let us start with the query processing. So let me explain what is query processing in DBMS. Query processing is the activity performed by or performed in extracting data from the database. What is query processing? A query processing is the activity performed in extracting data from the database. That means when you like to extract the data from the database, in that case we are going to use this query processing activities. In query processing, it takes various steps for fetching the data from the database. That means to extract the data using query processing, it may contain a few of the steps. So what are that steps? Let me explain. The first step is parsing and translation. That means when you want to perform a query processing, that means you have to follow the first step, that is parsing and translation. Another one that we have to perform, that is optimization, and then at the last we have to do the evaluation of query. That means to do the query processing we have to follow these 3 steps. What is that? Let me say once again: parsing and translation, optimization and evaluation. So let us see one by one. Now let us understand the first step, that is parsing and translation in query processing. That means we need to do the parsing and translation for query processing in DBMS. So the query processing works in the following ways. That means if you want to understand the parsing and translation, how it will work, let us see. The first one is, as a query processing, it includes the certain activities for a data retrieval. Now what kind of that activity? Let us see. Initially the given user queries get translated in a high level database language such as SQL. That means initially the user queries gets translated into a high level database language. That means the user had to translate that query language into a high level database language, that we can call it as a SQL. So that is the first thing. It gets translated into expression, and then it can be further used at physical level of the file system. So next step is what? So after the forming of SQL, it is translated into an expression, and that can be further used at the physical level of the file system. After this, the actual evaluation of the queries and the variety of query optimization transformation will take place. Thus, before processing of a query, the computer system needs to translate a query into a human readable and understandable language. That means before starting with the query processing, the computer system needs to translate a query which can human easily readable and understand language for the user. So this is what the parsing and translation in a query processing. Now another aspect of the parsing and translation is that consequently the SQL, or we can say structured query language, is the best suitable choice for a humans That means when we have to do the parsing and translation, and when we are talking about the DBMS, so SQL is the most suitable choice for the human, because it is easy to understand and easy to readable. But it is not perfectly suitable for the internal representation of query to the system. So here they are talking about the logical structure of the database. So it is very much difficult to represent the internal representation of a query. Now relational algebra is well suited for an internal representation of a query. So we know that there are two kind of representation. One, we can represent query with the SQL, that is structured query language, and another representation that we have, that is relational algebra. So relational algebra is the best suited for the internal representation of a query. So the translation process in a query processing is similar to the parser of the query. Another important point in parsing and translation is that when a user executes any query, for generating the internal form of the query, the parser system checks the syntax of the query, and that verifies the name of the relation in the table and the tuple, and finally the required attribute value. So what is important point in parsing and translation? This is very much important point. When user is going to execute a query, and for generating an internal form of the query, the parser means it will check the system checks, the syntax of the query. The first thing that will like to see the syntax of the query. Also, they would like to verify the name of the relation and the name of the database, tuple, and finally to check the required attributes of that value. So this is what in the main aspect of parsing and translation while doing the query processing. The parser creates a tree, the query known as parse tree. When parser creates a tree, that query known as parse tree. Further, it can be translated into the form of a relational algebra. With this, it evenly replaces all the uses of the views when used in the query. So, dear students, this is what in parsing and translation, the basic understanding of parsing and translation. Let us see how it will work, so we can easily understand with an example also. Now here you can see the example of query processing. Let us understand the working of query processing in the below described diagram. Here you can see user is going to insert the query, and then in the next phase it will do the parser and translation. Then after that particular operation, the query is supposed to be written in the relational algebra expression. Then optimizer needs to check the syntax and all these things, the name of the table and the relation of the table, or we can say the tuple of the required values and all. Then they have some execution plan. Once the execution plan is proper, then it will be forwarded to the evaluation engine. From that it will take the data, and after that, after getting the data, it will given to the output. Now let us understand with a proper technical discussion also. Now we are using this diagram for the discussion purpose to how this query processing will execute. Suppose a user execute a query. So this is what I am saying here. Suppose a user is going to execute a query. As we have learned that there are various methods of extracting a data from the database. In SQL, the user wants to fetch the record of, this is an example. In SQL, a user wants to fetch the record of employee whose salary is greater than or equal to 10,000. So for doing this, we have to write down the query like this way. The select an employee name from employee table where salary is greater than 10,000. Thus, to make the system understand user query, it needs to be translated into the form of relational algebra. That means to understand this human readable language, we have to convert it into this SQL query is supposed to be converted into a relational algebra. So we can bring this query in the relational algebra form like this way. So we have to select salary greater than 10,000. From projection of salary column from the employee. So this is the both way. These are the both way where we can write down this query, this output query that we have taken in the form of the example. That means this SQL query can be written in a two ways like this way. This is the first representation of relational algebra, and this is the next representation of relational algebra. Now, after translating the given query, that means once SQL query is converted into a relational algebra, then we can execute each relational algebra operation by using the different algorithms. So in this way the query processing begin its working. That means so query processing is a very simple process. So this is how it can be converted into a high level language into a human readable and understandable language. So user can easily understand this query processing steps. So this is the first step of parsing and translation in query processing. Now another important aspect of query processing, that is evaluation. So what is that? Let me see. For this with an addition to the relational algebra translation, it is required to annotate the translated relational algebra operation with an instruction used for specifying an evaluation of each operation. Now what is that evaluation take parts in query processing? So it is required to annotate the translated relational algebra operation with instruction used for specifying and evaluating each operations. Thus, after translating the user query, system executes a query evaluation plan. That means if you want have some if you want to execute some query, then after before the query evaluation plan you should have some evaluation, the things what you have to evaluate, and once that thing is proper, then you have to do the system will execute a query evaluation plan that we have arranged. Now what is that query evaluation plan? Let me explain. Now in order to fully evaluate a query, the system need to construct query evaluation plan. Let me explain once again what is that. In order to fully evaluate a query, that means when you like to fully evaluate or do the evaluation of execution of query, system need to construct a query evaluation plan. That means we have to construct some of the query evaluation plan, and the annotations in the query evaluation plan may refer to the algorithm that is supposed to be used for a particular index or a specific operations. Now such a relational algebra with an annotation is referred to the evaluation primitive. If we talk about this annotation more than one times, that means when we are using some annotations in a relational algebra, that we can call it as a evaluation primitives. This evaluation primitives queries the instructions needed for the evaluation of an operation. Now this is what the important thing about the evaluation primitives. The evaluation primitives queries the instruction, that means they have some instruction to needed for the evaluation of operations. Thus the query evaluation plans defines a sequence of primitive operations used for evaluating a query. So the query evaluation plan is also be referred to as the query execution plan. A query execution engine is responsible for generating an output of the given query, and it takes the query execution plan, execute it, and finally makes the output of the user query. That means when I am say this complete diagram that we are talking here in the previous slide, that means this is all the scenario that we are discussing here. That means what is the responsibility of query execution engine is that the responsible for generating the output of query. Then the particular query, that means the sequence of primitives can be defined, or we can say a plan is referred as the query execution plan, and they have some evaluation primitives also which can carries the some of the instruction for evaluating the query execution plan. So this is what an evaluation in query processing. Now let us talk about what is query optimization. The cost of the query evaluation can vary for different types of queries. The query optimization is a very important aspect of the query processing. The cost of the query evaluation can vary for different types of queries. That means cost can vary according to the different types of query evaluation. Although the system is responsible for constructing a query evaluation plan, thus the user does not need to write their query efficiently. Usually the database system generates efficient query evaluation plan. What is what I am saying here? Usually the database system, whatever system that we are using for a database, that particular system itself generates the query evaluation plan which minimize the cost. This type of task performed by database system, and it is known as query optimization. For optimizing a query, query optimizer should have an estimated cost analysis of each operations, and it is because of overall operation cost depend on memory allocation to several operations, execution cost, and so on. So finally, after selecting the evaluation plan, the system evaluates the query and produces the output of the query. So this is what and simple understanding of query optimization in a query processing. Now let us talk about the another important topic, that is evaluation of an expression. In our previous section, we understood various concepts of query processing. In that we understand the query optimization, parser and translation. We also seen the optimizer and so on. So after that, we learned about the query processing steps like selection operations, also several types of algorithm used for performing the join operations with their cost estimation and so on. So we are already aware of the computing and representing the individual relational operations for a given user query or expression. Here we will get to know how to compute an evaluation expression with multiple operations. For evaluating an expression that carries multiple operations in it, we can perform the computation for each operation one by one. However, in the query processing system, we use two methods for evaluating an expression carrying multiple operations. And these two methods are materialization and pipelining. That means for evaluation of expression, we need to have two methods, that is materialization and pipelining in query processing. Now let us understand what is materialization in evaluation of expression. In this method, the given expression evaluates the one relational algebra at a time. So this is very important line in a materialization. In this method, that means in the materialization method, the given expression evaluate one relational operation at a time. Also, each operation is evaluated in appropriate sequence and order. So this is what in materialization. Now after evaluating all the operations, the output are materialized in a temporary relation for their subsequent uses. It leads to a materialization methods to a disadvantage. Now the disadvantage of that, it needs to construct those temporary relations for materializing the results of the evaluated operation also and respectively. So these temporary relations are written on a disk. It will create unless they are small in size. So this is the materialization concept in a evaluation of expression, and there is a one of the disadvantage that we discussed, that so it needs to construct those temporary relations also on a disk. So this is a disadvantage, and they will take small in size also. So this is what materialization. Now let us talk about the pipelining in a evaluation of expressions in a query processing. The pipelining is an alternate method or approach to the materialization method. So whatever the problems that we faced in the materialization, that we are going to cover up, or we can cope up with the this method of pipelining. Now pipelining, it enables us to evaluate each relational operation of an expression simultaneously in a pipeline. In this approach, after evaluating one operation, its output is passed to the next operation, and the chain continues till all the operations are evaluated thoroughly. Thus, there is no requirement for storing a temporary relation in pipelining. Such an advantage of pipelining, it makes that better approach as compared to the approach that we used in materialization method. So it is very much convenient approach. Pipelining is very much convenient approach to do the evaluation of an operation, relational algebra operation, than materialization. Even the cost of both the approach can have subsequent difference in between, but both approaches perform best role in the different cases. Thus, both ways are feasible at their place. So this is what the importance. At some cases, both the methods are good. It is depending on the cases in which case we are going to evaluate our relational algebra expression, and that is related to the pipelining and materialization. Now let us talk about some of the more on pipelining in query processing. In the earlier section, we learned about the materialization, in which we evaluate the multiple operation in the given expression via temporary relations, but it leads to a drawback of producing a high number of temporary files. So this is the disadvantage of materialization. It makes the query evaluation less efficient. However, the evaluation of query should be highly efficient in producing an effective output. So this is what the important thing in a pipelining in query processing. The another important aspect that here we will discuss another method of evaluating for a multiple operations of an expression works more efficiently than materialization. Such more efficient way is known as pipelining. The pipelining helps to improving the efficiency for a query evaluation by decreasing the the number of temporary files. Actually, we reduce the construction of temporary files by merging the multiple operation into a pipeline. So this is what the concept of pipelining actually is compared to materialization. Thus, the result of one currently executed operation passes to the next operation for its execution, and the chain continue till all the operations are completed, and we get the final output of expression. Such type of evaluation process is known as pipelined evaluation. So this is what pipelining in query processing. Now let us talk about some of the advantages of using pipelining in query processing. The first one is it reduces the cost of query evaluation by eliminating the cost of reading and writing the temporary relations, unlike a materialization process. Next advantage is if we combine the root operator of the query evaluation plan in a pipeline with its inputs, the process of generating query results become quick. As a result, the beneficial for the user as they can view the result of their asked query as soon as the output gets generated. Else, the user needs to wait for a high time to get and view for any query result. That compared to that here we are talking about the that means in a pipelining we are getting very quick result as compared to materialization. So this is what they are going to we are discussing here in this para. Now let us talk about the difference between pipelining and materialization in the evaluation expression of DBMS. So what is pipelining in terms of differences? Let us explain. It is a modern approach to evaluate in multiple operations. It is in terms of materialization. It is a traditional approach to evaluate multiple operations. In case of pipeline, it does not use any temporary relation for storing the result of evaluated operation, while in case of materialization, it uses temporary relations for storing the result of the evaluated operation. So it needs more temporary files and input-output operations. In the pipelining, it is more efficient way of query evaluation as it quickly generates the result, and in terms of materialization, it is less efficient and it takes time to generate the query result. In pipelining, it requires memory buffers at a high rate of generating an outputs, and inefficient memory buffers will cause thrashing. Where in case of materialization, it does not have any higher requirements for a memory buffers for query evaluation. There is a poor performance in a thrashing occurs in a pipelining. There is no thrashing occurs in a materialization. Thus, such cases the materialization having a better performance. At the last in the pipelining, it optimizes the cost of query evaluation as it does not include the cost of reading and writing for a temporary storages, while in case of materialization, the overall cost includes the cost of operation plus cost of reading and writing result of temporary relations. So ultimately these are the very good comparison of pipelining and materialization and evaluation of expression in query processing. Now another important aspect that we would like to discuss here is implementation of pipelining. Now for implementing a pipeline in order to evaluate multiple operations of a given user query, we need to construct a single and complex operation that merges the multiple operations of the given query, which will implement a pipeline. However, such approach is feasible and efficient for some frequently occurring condition, and this system use any following ways of executing planning. That means when you want to implement in pipelining, do the implementation of pipelining, we have a two approach. One is a demand driven pipeline, and another that we have producer driven pipeline. So with the help of these two concepts, we can do the implementation of pipelining. So first we would like to see what is demand driven pipeline first. Now in the demand driven pipeline, the system repeatedly makes the tuples request from the operation which which is at the top of the pipeline. So this is what the demand driven pipeline. What is that? Let me explain once again. The system, when we are talking about the demand itself says the system repeatedly makes the tuple request, and when they are doing repeatedly making a request for a tuples, and that is demand, and request from a operation which is at the top of the pipeline, and when that thing is possible, then we can say that it is demand driven pipeline. Whenever an operation get the system request for the tuple, initially it computes those next tuple which will be returned, and after that it returned to the request tuples. Also, the operation repeats the same process each time it receives any tuples request from the system. In case the input of the operations are not in a pipeline, then we compute the next returning tuples from the input relations only. However, the system keeps the track of all the tuples records that have been returned so far, but if there are some pipeline inputs represent, the operations will make a request for a tuple from its pipeline inputs also. The another important aspect of demand driven pipeline is that after receiving the tuple from its pipeline inputs, the operations uses them for computing the tuples for its output or a result, then passes them into its parent which is at the upper level. So in the demand driven pipeline, the pipeline is implemented on the basis of demand and the request of tuple made by the system. Now to briefly understand this demand driven pipeline is that there are two important things that we have to understand, that whenever the system is repeatedly make the request for the tuple of the operation from the operation at the top of the pipeline, when they are asking about the continuously or repeatedly asking about the tuples, and that is we can call it as a demand driven. The another important thing is in demand driven pipeline that can be implemented on the basis of the request of the tuples made by the system. So this is what the two important things that you have to keep in your mind to understand the demand driven pipeline. So this is what demand driven pipeline. Now how we can implement the demand driven pipeline? Let us understand. In the demand driven pipeline, it implements each operation as in iterator. So this iterator provides three basic functions to implement a demand driven pipeline, and these functions are open function, next function and close function. These functions works as follow. Now after invoking the open function, each call to next returns and next tuples as an output of the relations. In turns, the implementation of the operations invokes the open and next function its input so that input tuples may be easily available when needed. Now after fulfilling the requirement, the close function tells the iterator that there is no more tuples for the requirement. Also, in between the calling process or calls, the iterator maintains its state of execution. As a result, the next function will receive the tuple of successive result. So this is how we can implement the demand driven pipelining in evaluation of expression. For implementation purpose, we are using these three functions. One is open, next and close, and we know what is the use of open. So when a user wants to request for a tuple, so they have to use the open function. Then there are some of the next repeated requesting for a tuple that are supposed to be sequenced or ordered in the next function, and after that doing all this operation we have to close the operation. So after doing all these things, we will get the function will receive the tuple of successive results. So this is what implementing in demand driven pipeline. Now let us talk about what is producer driven pipeline. The producer driven pipeline is different from the demand driven pipeline. In producer driven pipeline, the operators do not wait for the system request that are producing the tuples. Instead of operations are eager to produce the such tuples. In the producer driven pipeline, it models each operation as a separate thread or a process within a system. Here the system gets the stream of the tuples from its pipeline inputs and finally generates and produces the stream of tuples for its output. The producer driven tuple follows such an approach. That means they are not supposed to wait for the request for the request, but they are supposed to generating the tuples for that each operation. So this is what the main difference between producer and demand driven pipeline. Let us talk about how that producer driven pipeline can be implemented. So the way of implementing the producer driven pipeline varies from the demand driven pipeline. The implementation process follow the following steps. Now each pair of the adjacent operations, the system construct the buffer that holds the tuples that are being passed from one operation to the next operation. Now after creating the buffer, the processes which are corresponding to different operations are concurrently executed. They are concurrently executed. That means when I am saying that they are concurrently executed, when any one process is going on and the another is not going to wait, because they are concurrently executed. They are not wait for the another request. So all the operations which are present at the bottom of the pipeline continuously produce the output tuples, put them into the output buffer until the buffer becomes full. So as soon as operation uses the tuple from the pipeline input, it removes that tuples from its input buffer. So this is how we can implement and a producer driven pipeline in the evaluation of expression. Now let us talk about the difference between producer driven pipeline and demand driven pipeline, or check about the comparison between the demand driven and producer driven pipeline. In demand driven pipeline, it is similar to the pulling data from top of the operations tree. Well, in case of producer driven, it is similar to the pushing data from the below of the operation tree. In the demand driven pipeline, tuples are generated in a lazy manner. In a producer driven, tuples are eagerly generated. And the demand driven is easy to implement, where in case of producer driven, it is not easy to implement. In a demand driven pipeline, it is most commonly used for evaluating and evaluation of expression, while in case of producer driven, it is typically rarely used in the system, but it is good for a system such as parallel processing system. So these are the very good comparison of demand driven pipeline and producer driven pipeline in the evaluation of expression. So dear students, this is what in this video lecture we have discussed what is query processing, how the importance of query processing in DBMS. We have also seen what is parsing and what is translation, what is optimization, what is query evaluation plan, how we can evaluate in a particular expression. In that we have studied two types of methods for evaluation of expression, that is materialization and pipelining. In the pipelining also we studied the implementation of pipeline. In that we have seen the demand driven pipeline and producer driven pipeline. So this is what in this video lecture. Thank you all. Thank you.